We finally have an update. Beau Demayo's lawyer, Brian Friedman, spoke to the streamer. The streamer was like, hey, look, Jeff Snyder's posted something. It's got to do with all these allegations against Beau. And Brian Friedman is saying, let's redirect what's our initial issue. We know he was fired. Misconduct. Egregious findings. What happened in June? Did you not send me a letter or send Beau Demayo a letter that violated his rights? Let's go to the streamer. They're the ones who covered this, and they said that Beau Demayo was fired because he was becoming more successful than the other creators. That's the juicy part of it, that Kevin Feige or somebody who worked there, because they're not going to say who, had something against him. While the trades reported the statement from Marvel, which we also received in response to this story, Jeff Snyder reported some more details that shed light on the background of the egregious findings. Reporting exclusively, Snyder shared that Demayo allegedly groped an assistant and sent photos of himself in various states of undress. God, do they not... Listen, if you say he groped you, cool. Was he being groped back? Was the person who he was groping liking it? That's important. They lead you to believe that it was an unwanted session. The next thing is he sent photos of himself in various states of undress. Bro, was he nude? He sent photos of himself? Who was it towards? Was it a person who was also sending photos back to him? That's left out. I know he has a relationship at work. I understand that. And that could be wrong. That could be incorrect to do. Absolutely. There's consequences to actions. Get rid of him because he violated your company policies. Understood. We're talking about because that was in March. That was the investigation. Boom. Beau Demayo was always talking about what happened in June, where you guys say he violated a separations agreement because of his social media posts. Marvel has not denied that. They got their well-oiled international campaign the machine to make everyone look at the character of Beau. Young male staffers. His source said if you were a guy who looked like they could be under 30 on that show, you have his nudes, whether you wanted them or not. Okay. That, of course, does not say Beau Demayo sent nudes to everyone under 30, but it leads you to believe that. Prior to this information coming out, numerous sources who have no connection to one another also said to the streamer that Demayo sent photos and videos of himself to people who reported to him. I understand he had relationships that are incorrect under the workplace rules. I get it. And he sent photos of himself to this person he had he's misconducting with. I get it. Like, how much times can we say the same thing until some of us snap out of it and realize, oh, actually, what happened isn't terribly bad. It's not criminal. This guy is just misconducting himself at work. Now's a good time for me to insert this. It's the Wrong Agenda podcast speaking on comic book artists.
They do use actual physical models to help them and get inspiration on crafting these pieces of superhero art. That's not unheard of. For Demayo, who is a guy who physically has the build of what you may say a superhero character can and should have, for him to want to use himself as a reference, I don't think is ridiculous or unheard of. But if he's sending unsolicited photos and was told to stop, yeah, buddy, you gotta go.
And I agree with him. Subscribe up there, back to me. Go out and say what he did was wrong and exactly how wrong it was. Then maybe we have like a fair fight. But their inability to do so leads me to lean with Beau Demayo. It says that in reaching for contacts for this story, the streamer approached Brian Friedman, the veteran Hollywood lawyer. He released a statement to Deadline on Friday. After our initial email was sent, Friedman said, "Send me the information you're about to publish. If untrue, you will be sued immediately." And thank God, because this is what gives us this update from the streamer. They relayed the various allegations. Who did not respond until much later. He responded on Tuesday. Relax. In that response, Friedman did not deny that multiple people reported Demayo to human resources at Disney. Just can I get straight to the... This is what he said. He didn't deny. Friedman says, you realize that... I hate when people start that way. You do realize that Disney allowed Beau to have an OnlyFans page while working for the company. No clue if someone quit while he was showrunner. But that's like every single day on every single show. Facts. My client never sent lewd photos and videos to his direct reports. That is a bald-faced lie and defamatory. He never sent lewd photos. So that's about the various states of undress. All right. No one who reported to Beau to Human Resources received an inappropriate photo or video. No one reported Beau. Is it possible that he was having this relationship with someone he worked with, and others saw it and they go, oh, he's groping that guy. Oh, Beau was talking. Oh, Beau was doing that, and they went to the HR and they weren't part of this relationship at all. They weren't the scorned lover. That is simply untrue. As a proud gay black man, what does being black have to do with this one? Disney knew exactly who he was and what he stood up for. That's why they did not tell him to stop his OnlyFans page. I think that's more of a gay thing than it is a black thing. I'll say it's a black thing because of the low, what's the word? The humanization, the sympathy, the grace. That's the black thing. When you can see how easy it was to convince everyone that he was this menace. They let him be himself, which allowed his creativity to thrive. When they objected to his free speech rights and not complying with illegal NDAs, a certain person over there, potentially, could be Kevin, could be someone else, tried to replace him because he was becoming more successful than other creators, which he was. It was happening there. But that's your opinion, Brian Friedman. That's not the truth. That's your opinion. It could be true, but it's not 100%. I'm going to hold on to that. When they objected to his free speech rights and not complying with illegal NDAs, they didn't comply. They gave him illegal NDAs. What are you going to do, bro? To be honest, that's very believable. And that's redirecting you guys back, all the way back. I'm getting a message right now from someone. Recording the video now. Now the last part. Ask Disney if his separation agreement illegally silenced him. Let me know what they say. Yo, Blue's house. Yesterday we were fighting over this. This is what I'm talking about. Let's get back to the separations agreement that they had. Yeah, he got fired, misconduct, whatever. It is what it is. That was March. You got investigated. Big deal. Egregious. All right. We're done with that. They then agreed, hey, let's sit down, let's talk. We're going to have a separations agreement, can't do this, can't do that. This tweeting is acceptable, that's not acceptable. Ask Disney if his separation agreement illegally silenced him. Was it valid? Should that paperwork hold any water? Is there terms in there that are incorrect? Did they break laws? Is this that's the story. That's all Beau Demayo was talking about on Thursday, and it was an international, well-oiled machine publicizing a relationship without saying it was a relationship. This guy couldn't keep his hands to himself, just this and that. Then Brian Friedman now tells them, don't print this crap, it's wrong and defamatory. So he responded to an email that the streamer put out recently, either today or he responded to them yesterday. They wrote this report right up. That's our update right now coming out of the streamer. The email mentions how Disney supported DeMayo's non-explicit OnlyFans encouraged creativity, which appears to contradict the post that the former showrunner made on August 15. On that platform, DeMayo stated that the cause for his season 2 writing credits being stripped was an Instagram post for gay pride that depicted him as Cyclops. That is not a contradictory statement. It's actually not at all. What are you doing, streamer? Marvel Studios' stance, as it was last week, did not offer further comment on the veracity of the sexual misconduct allegations. They didn't even make that. They just said egregious findings after an investigation. That's what they left it at. The next paragraph on that Hollywood Reporter, it's right up here. All that they said on Hollywood Reporter was Mr. DeMayo was terminated in March following an internal investigation. Given the egregious nature of the findings, we severed ties with him immediately, and he has no further affiliation with Marvel. That's all they said. Down here, sources say following his exit, an agreement was reached. Down here, while no details of this cause of the termination or the internal reviews have surfaced, sources say it involves sexual misconduct. Sources. They didn't say jack. That's important to note. Also, what's important to note is the wordplay. Given the egregious nature of the findings, we sever ties with him immediately, comma. And he has no further affiliation with Marvel. They want you to think that they're talking about how he has no further affiliation as of March when they terminated him. But that comma and the word and is trickery. Yeah, he has no further affiliation. You're talking about as of June because they violated a separations agreement. They want you to read this and think as of March, that was it. It was over between the two of them. No, there was working relationships. I saw Beau Demayo being spoken about by Brad Winderbaum about how he's still the season 2 writer. Now you're telling Hollywood Reporter and we have no affiliation. Yeah, it's true. Now you think you have no affiliation. Now because you're out of the contract with him, you're not using him as the writer anymore. It's true to say now. It wasn't true to say after March in April because he was still the season 2 writer. Now it looks like you guys are going to just brand new script. He'll have nothing to do with it. I mean, he did season 1, so he'll have something to do with it. But we know we're going to find a reason not to credit him. Let's get away from this guy. And that sounds like it's something that's coming from up top. That sounds like, And we know the way that he's been treating Jonathan Majors, Don Cheadle's movies getting pushed around. The Ironheart show was filmed 2 years ago. Let's delay it. They didn't recast the highest grossing, most positively impactful dark-skinned character in the history of fiction. They just said, Black Panther is a mantle. Let's give it to his sister, and then let's give it to his bastard son that we created. People are going to love that. We know how that goes. But that's just me pointing the finger at the hat. Kevin Feige, Brad Winderbaum, figure this out. And stop doing what you think you're good at doing, which is making everyone talk about how much of a bad, mean, nasty person to work with Beau Demayo is. Not about that. What was in the contract, buddy? Ask Disney if his separation agreement illegally silenced him. Let me know what they say. Show me your splits. I'll make sure I'll double back with you. That's the problem here. That's what Beau Demayo is raising. That's what he's speaking up on. There was some separation agreement. You're taking advantage, all right? Back the direction, the mirror is faced back at you. It took you 2 hours to respond to Beau the first time when he posted this thing. I want you 2 hours from now, Marvel. Take your time. You can do it tomorrow. But I want a direct response to this. What Brian Friedman is screeching and stretching for is false. We did not provide an illegal separation agreement. What they think what they think was illegal actually has been common practice and used for years. Talk to me about the separation agreement. It was illegal or it was legal? Oh no, you're not going to talk about the separation agreement because you're too busy, well, according to the Hollywood Reporter article, you're too busy trying to make us think that in March there was an investigation and he has no further affiliation with Marvel. You're trying to make us think that it was a March separation that has always stood. No. There was you got fired, misconduct. Then there was, let's agree to keep our mouths shut separation agreement here. And then you stuffed some stuff in that contract. Right? Right. I didn't fall for it. I hope you didn't either. I'll leave you on this. Yesterday I had a big discussion talking to Blue. Dre was there on Dre Mac's show.
Paper? He signed it. I'm going to be the head writer of X-Men 97. He violated that. So let's call that the 2000.
We got a whole lot of BS coming out of Blue fighting me. It was, 2 hours long, 3 hours long. Check it out.
Let's go to the hiring paper. I hired you. Hold on. No, I
actually don't want to.
Because y'all goalposts just.
Nope, you over here two-stepping. You over here two-stepping. You going from here to be like, okay, you know what? All right.
It was a hell of a stream, but we went over exactly what we're doing here. I'm trying to remind everyone that there was paperwork signed early, there was paperwork signed after for a separations agreement, and that's what Beau Demayo has an issue with. The illegal stuff put into that contract, the manipulation, the power that Marvel was exercising that they don't have the right to have. That's Brian Friedman's talk. That's Beau Demayo's talk. He got fired, he had a relationship, or he was being improper at the workplace. I understand that. I get it. And for that, he suffered the consequences of his actions. I don't support it. I also don't believe everything that they're saying about him. But again, for that, I understand. That's not the violation of paperwork I'm on. I'm on the second one. I'm on after March, after the investigation, after he wasn't allowed on the red carpet. They came with a parting agreement. Hey, let's sort out. Everyone's nice to each other. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have a agreement on what to say, what not to say. And they don't like what he says. They hate that when T'Chaka not T'Challa. The Black Panther's name is T'Challa. When T'Chaka was shown on X-Men 97, he was asked on Twitter, yo, what's going on here? Hey, that wasn't me. That was above me. I can't speak to that. Can't speak to that decision, is what his quote was. You guys can find exactly what it was. That and information like that getting out was a problem from higher ups. And that, for that specific example, that's Kevin Feige. He hates knowing that we got this guy who knows what's going to happen in season 2 because he wrote season 2, and we're going to go through another 10-week cycle of every episode having this guy giving his feedback and revealing secrets of how the cookie is made, revealing stuff like there's an anti-T'Challa mandate at that company because he wanted to put, I think he wanted to have T'Challa in there, and he was told no. Then they changed it to T'Chaka last minute without him knowing in post-development. That's what I think happened. I'm pretty certain that's how it happened. But that's just one example. There's other examples and questions he was asked, and he wasn't protecting the company anymore. They don't want him on season 2. They found a reason to get him off of season 2. Put some wording in the contract, and they don't want him to be featured. They don't even want him at the Emmys representing them, because you can imagine him on a hot microphone at the Emmy Awards saying something they don't want him to say. Not like a swear word, not something obscene, but something that would reveal the secrets of the company. Or making a political statement. Free Palestine. You don't want that. There's certain things potentially that he could be on that because he's separated from the company, he's not with them anymore, they're worried about. It's really that easy. Thank you for coming. Chill. You know, the video's right here to check out. And then I will be doing, God willing, I'll be doing a live stream later on tonight on my channel. But you get your fill right here. This is great. I can't recommend this one strongly enough. Check them out.